So first, let's go to this Hirono. Is it Hirono? Hirono?
She doesn't know, so why should we know?
Hirono. You know? I don't know, but I have taxpayer data. So here she is claiming just recently that conservatives, and this matters as we head into a potential 4-year Biden presidency. I'll give you a 20% shot that he does become president, where she actually said these words, that conservatives do not face any kind of censorship on social media.
Zuckerberg, for the second time in 3 weeks, you've been hauled before the Senate committee so my Republican colleagues can beat you up over claims that your platforms are supposedly biased against conservatives.
Poor guy.
The fact of the matter is that these allegations are completely baseless. Everyone who has systematically looked at the content of social media, from Media Matters to the Cato Institute to former Republican Senator John Kyle, has found absolutely no evidence of anti-conservative bias.
Well, listen, I don't know about Media Matters, but I will say there have been some people who've been specifically calling for censorship and criticism of conservatives solely for their point of view. Not everybody, but you, Ms. Hirono.
YouTube dragged its feet before taking any action against conservative commentator Steven Crowder. When YouTube did finally take action, it took the half measure of removing advertisements from Crowder's videos rather than removing him from the platform entirely.
Okay, first thing, that is a flat face. When she turns down, you cannot see eyes or a nose.
Yes, it's a safety feature.
Is it? Here's why also, Hirono, the reason she was complaining that we were demonetized and not banned. Facts should matter. I know that you know this, being a frequent visitor of Media Matters. It's because the CEO of YouTube, the most powerful media company in existence, said clearly that that I had not violated any policies. My half-Asian lawyer, Bill Richmond, true, untrue?
Yeah, that's true.
Fact check. So Hirono wants these companies to ban, according to her own words, shows like this, rather than be demonetized, because we're conservative.
So it's literally the most clear thing.
I know.
There is
no bias, but ban him.
Right. She's saying they said there's no violation. They took a half measure. The full measure would have been silence this entire channel, all the hundreds of videos, never again to be seen on YouTube. But, we'll just go ahead and leave everything else up.
Here's something else. Biden's transition team, one of his team members, Richard Stengel, he wrote an op-ed explaining why the U.S. needs a hate speech law like Europe, where, by the way, people can be arrested for doing a cover of Kung Fu Fighting, or our good friend Mike Ward in Canada, where their hate speech law is put before Human Rights Tribunal for making a joke. So this is an active member, a current member of Biden's transition team, saying we need a hate speech law. Combine that with Hirono saying ban Steven Crowder, even though it's clear on the record legally that he didn't violate any policies, as well as the little minor detail that there are former Facebook higher-ups involved with Biden's transition team, and you actually have a stage 5 shitacane. It's a double-barreled shit machine gun with a hair trigger. Thank you, Officer Leahy.
She doesn't. People need to go back and look at just like the hate speech thing. Remember when we went down in front of Google's sub-regional headquarters in Austin, downtown Austin, and we talked about how many different people who came up from hipster leftist Austin and were like, I think hate speech should be a real thing, and every single one of them to a T said, I guess you're right.
Right. And you know what's really telling? Donald Trump, this crazy, evil fascist who's been president for 4 years and brought you the best economy we've had in modern American history and brought back American manufacturing jobs. Guess what? He had this power. You said that he wielded it like a fascist. Didn't do everything by executive order, unlike Barack Obama and unlike you're going to see with Joe Biden. They still all used more executive orders than I would be comfortable with. But guess what? He never once tried to limit speech of liberals. He said that the press is dishonest, fake news. He talked about that. He wanted balance in fact check. What do we call for? We say, well, hey, hold on a second. If we're going to have Southern Poverty Law Center and AP, who lied about the Trump team legal case, or Snopes, who lied about many of our stories at louderwithcrowder.com, where all the sources will be available today, all we want is to have some right-leaning balance to it. Donald Trump, the fascist dictator, Hitler in chief, apparently never once stood before a committee, never once stood before a governing body and said, get rid of Hirono because she's got a weird flat face and she's a bitch. He never once said that. We fought for your right to be there because we want everyone to see how stupid your arguments are. Yeah. If we had complete and total, we had the Senate, right? We had the Senate, we had the presidency, the executive office, and we have the Supreme Court. No conservatives have been pushing for laws to silence you, Hirono. Only you. You are pushing for people to act outside of their legal purview to ban folks like this show because we say things that you don't like despite it not being a violation of policy. And you know what else? You know what else really gets my goat if I were a Muslim? Is you'd have to pry it from me with the jaws of life.
Delicious.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it.
Yeah, sure.
Good cover.
This is Hirono, the same woman, by the way, who wants to ban us for policies that we never violated, asking Amy Coney Barrett if she's a rapist. So you know where she's coming from. Here she is.
I ask each nominee these two questions, and I will ask them of you. Since you became a legal adult, have you ever made unwanted requests for sexual favors or committed any verbal or physical harassment or assault of a sexual nature?
No, Senator Hirono.
Have you ever faced discipline or entered into a settlement related to this kind of conduct?
No, Senator.
And if I greeted you on airplane and handed you a scarf, would you feel welcome?
Yes. If I touched your Nero's throat like this, what do you think? You like that?
You think she asks those questions of everyone she hires?
Yeah, everyone.
Right. Yes.
Do you think she asks that question of the president that she voted for?
You think she has a Matt Lauer button in her office?
I think she's more a Louis C.K. version.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Just blocks the door.
Hey, come on into green room. Yeah, I hear you right to watch. So,
Is that raw duck? Oh my gosh, Hirono.
wrap the magic lantern in the green room.
Watch Good Morning Mug Club live every Monday through Thursday at 10:15 Eastern.